Our next presentation is going to be a bit modified because we originally had the Hurston Scholarship winner with us. Unfortunately, she has fallen ill, so she won't be able to present, but we still want to acknowledge and honor her and give a bit of background about this new scholarship that was co-sponsored and created with the Secular Student Alliance. So with me today for the next few minutes, I have Kevin Bowling, the Executive Director of the Secular Student Alliance, who is going to open with a few words, and we are going to discuss the Hurston Scholarship and Amuri Morris, the winner. So Kevin, are you with us?
I am, and very happy to be here. So at first, I just wanted to say congratulations to BlackNonbelievers on their 10th anniversary. It's a great milestone, and Mandisa, I think all of us know, has done a fantastic job at shepherding this organization. It is my pleasure to be able to say a few words. And it's really unfortunate that Amuri's sick today. So I was really looking forward to hearing her a bit more about her story and hearing from her. So every day, the staff of the Secular Student Alliance works with amazing and courageous students in middle schools, high schools, and colleges across the country. So each summer, we provide scholarships to secular student activists. And some of those scholarships are sponsored or in partnership with other organizations, like the Hurston Scholarship awarded with BlackNonbelievers. So when you think of the membership of many of the larger national organizations, let's be real, when you go to their conferences, there's a lot of light-skinned people. So let's be real, there's also a privilege in our society to be able to be an open non-believer. So in general, it's easier to be older, white, cisgendered male in the secular community. There's no blame there. It's a societal and cultural thing. We know this. But from some of the fantastic work of American atheists with their secular youth reports, we know more about young non-believers. So young non-believers non-religious people face increased harassment and discrimination. They have increased rejection from their family and increased stress, fear, and depression than their older non-student counterparts. So we also know it's more difficult to be a non-religious woman in our society. It's more difficult to be a non-religious LGBT person, and it's more difficult to be a non-religious person of color in our society. And that's why the work of BlackNonbelievers and the Secular Student Alliance is so important. So with SSA, over 80% of our students come from religious households. Coincidentally, this is very similar to the percentage of Black and the African American community in the US that also comes from religious households. So when we look at the demographics of the student membership of the SSA, we start to get a glimpse of the future of the secular movement. So our members are approximately 50% male and 50% female, with a slight higher percentage of women in leadership positions. So about 20% of our students identify as lesbian, gay, and bisexual, and another 5% identifying as trans or gender nonconforming. And about 40% of our students identify as people of color or from a mixed race background. So these aren't the normal statistics you would see in a larger secular organization. So the secular community is changing, and it's going to be changing quickly. So more and more, our students see people like themselves represented in organizations like BlackNonbelievers. And that representation is really important. So the leadership of BlackNonbelievers also serves as amazing role models for our students. I have the privilege to be able to work with incredible student leaders. So being able to read scholarship applications each summer, learning about the struggles our students are going through, their determination, their process, or whatever their story is about how they left their faith, all the activism that they're doing on their campus and in their community, I'm astonished. I'm proud. And I know that the future of the secular community is in some really good hands. So take some time, not now, do that later. You can go to our website at secularstudents.org and read the bios of the student recipients this year and in past years and learn more about what our students like Amuri are doing. So I'm grateful for the partnership that we have with BN. And being able to recognize and reward secular student activists like Amuri. So we need to continue to invest in our youth. So please go make a donation to BN or SSA so we can continue to support compassionate and rational student activists. So again, I was really looking forward to hearing from Amuri. She's the current and the premier 2020 Hurston Scholarship recipient. So I know Mandisa was interested in talking a little bit about her experience and just a little bit about the award in general. So I'll follow your lead, Mandisa.
Thank you, Kevin. So in talking about the scholarship in particular and how we actually came up with it. So I was approached by the Secular Student Alliance about sponsoring a scholarship, particularly for young Black students. And of course, as this goes within the framework of our organization in providing support for our community, it does fall right in line. So of course I said yes, not just because I rarely say no to anything, but of course because this is absolutely important. And the student scholarships are something that we have supported previously through, not just through the Secular Student Alliance, we've also supported the Black Skeptics Los Angeles First in the Family Humanist Scholarship Fund. So we have a history of contributing to those efforts and those initiatives as an organization, for those of you who didn't know. So when the opportunity arose for us to co-sponsor a scholarship, of course I jumped at that opportunity. And so Kevin asked, what name should we give it? And as I thought more about it, it just seemed apropos to name it after Zora Neale Hurston, who we know is a very noted Renaissance era African-American author, scholar, very radical. She most famously said, "Gods always behave like the people who created them." Was very, very much a free thinker and who very much challenged the status quo. And especially as an author, I thought it was very good to name that after her, especially for college students, especially those who are interested, who are creative. And so Kevin and I, once we came up with the name, I actually was given the task to read through the applicants. And as I did so, it was interesting because I noticed that some of the applicants, they saw that it was a scholarship for Black students, which is important, but I noticed that quite a few of them were religious. And that was interesting to me because it is important that we support Black folks in general. But what was especially important was that we were supporting Black secular students, was that we were supporting Black students who were non-religious and who had left religion behind, but who don't get that support they needed. So that was very much on the criteria of who would be chosen. And so when I came to Amuri's application and I read her entry, I saw that she was already a student activist, that she had already been involved with the Secular Student Alliance. Many of the applicants had not been aware. And the fact that she was a creative, that she is a creative, she is an artist. And that she fully, openly identified as an atheist or secular or non-religious, because that was also very important to us, because that is an aspect of our advocacy and our work as an organization. So when I saw her entry, I said, okay, she's perfect. Not only because she is openly atheist, but because she is a woman. She is she is still from an underrepresented demographic, Black women, especially in this movement. So it was very fitting to have her chosen as the scholarship winner. And as I was also given the task to thank everyone for applying, and I reached out to her, I asked, would she be interested in coming here to speak with us? Because as we are paving the way for the future and we are looking to develop future leadership, not just in young folks, but for whoever wants to get involved, it is important to hear the voices of the people who are coming after us. This organization has never just been about me. It has always been about all of us and all of the people who, again, are coming behind us and who are coming after us and who are following our examples. And so it was extremely important that that we hear from her and that you know who she was. And also to show that this is a part of where your support goes. And that we are looking to the future. And that we are looking towards advocating for those educational standards and actually for advocating for people who are speaking up more for themselves. So I was very, very proud and happy to that we chose her for this scholarship. And I wish we could have given this plaque that we have for her in person, but she will receive it. And I'm just going to read her bio for everyone. She studies art and business at Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, Virginia. Her work focuses on the manifestation of identity, Black in particular, and consistently features the powerful presence of the Black figure as a way to rewrite the protagonist narrative Western visual media historically assigns Black figures. Amuri volunteers as an art studio assistant at the Children's Museum of Richmond and has also created several murals in the city. She feels that her racial identity led to her secularism due to religion historically being used as a tool of oppression for Black communities in America. By promoting free thought, she hopes that this will help shape future leaders that are free from previous biases and unjust religious grounds for governing our society. So I really would like to thank Kevin and the Secular Student Alliance for partnering on this scholarship with us. It is a scholarship that we hope to continue for years to come. And again, because for the days that we no longer do this, we want to make sure to encourage others who will. So thank you once again for helping to support us so that we can support secular students and support more Black secular students in the future. And Kevin, if you have a few words.
We're excited to do this as the first year as the Hurston Scholarship and look forward to continuing that. We've developed lots of partnerships with local and some of the national groups and continue those scholarships. And so we definitely can plan to do that. And when you were reading her bio, one of the things that really stuck out to me, and I know when I really had the pleasure of looking, we had about 1,300 students who applied, started the application process. And so for this category, there was a smaller component that Mandisa saw. One of the things this year, which I don't think is a surprise, but the number of our student applicants who were involved in racial identity issues and particularly with the Black Lives Matter movement this year. That completely makes sense, but the well over majority of our students from all backgrounds, this was a heightened issue for them, and they were super active in this. We see that every year, but I mean, of course, this year a little specifically. And I think one of the themes that we saw, which I think is important for us to understand in the larger context, is this connection between, and Amuri spoke to this in her essay, is the link between the religious oppression and the issues of systemic discrimination in our society. So I know Amuri is hyped into this, understands this larger thing, and I love that more and more and more of our students are seeing that intersectionality between and the social constructs in the U.S. between religious oppression and religious nationalism, and oppression of minority groups in the whole of our society, and are intentionally unweaving that. And I think not only for Amuri, but our other student recipients, I'm really excited about what's coming, their understanding of this, and their active and intentional work at undoing that.
Thank you all once again. Once again, we wish that Amuri could be here in person so that we can hear from her. But again, we wish her well. She will receive this plaque that we are giving to her, and we thank you all once again for your support for the Secular Student Alliance and Black Nonbelievers, and of course for the secular students and also our other members. So thank you all once again.